Hey everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel. My name is Elma and this is Eternal Blissed. And for today's video, I'm going to be talking about tarot. I'm going to be sharing some basic information such as the origins and different spreads. And also I'm going to be touching up on some questions that people have been asking me over the past couple of weeks. And these questions include, how can I know if I can trust whatever the cards are telling me? What do I need to do to be able to read somebody's tarot, and is it legit, and what is the science behind it? So I'm going to be covering all of these topics, all of these points, and I'm also going to be showing you some of my favorite spreads and explain exactly what goes through, what happens when I read somebody's cards. So as you can see here, I have different types of decks. These here are actually oracle cards, and these are the Ascended Master Oracle cards. These are one of my favorites, and I usually like to pull a card towards the very end of the reading from this deck to show somebody an overall view of what's happening in their life and what's the advice the divine has for them. Tarot is, these are the classic, these are the Raider White cards, and this is the box so you can see what I'm talking about. And these are the original ones, these are the OGs. There are 78 cards in a deck, so we have 22 that are the minor arcana. These are my favorite cards. As you can see, they're really old and I've had these forever, and these are exactly like these, but the artwork varies a little bit. So these are from a different artist, which is why Strength and Strength looks different. And then when you look at the next card, the Devil and the Devil look very different. So the major arcana is 22 cards, and the minor arcana makes up the rest of the deck for a total of 78 different suites, and the suites are as follows. So we have Cups, Pentacles, Swords, and Wands. So when we're reading somebody's tarot, we can use different types of spreads. My favorite spread to use is a 7-card layout, which looks like this. So the way that I read this is from this end all the way down. So this is the current present, what's going on in the person's life, the person's current state, the main emphasis of the whole spread, what the person should do, what's going to happen if the person decides to follow or not follow the advice, and the last card is the outcome. If you're asking more detailed questions, for example, like a calendar spread, which is 13 cards, 13 cards can be used, 12 of them for each month of the year, and the last one for an overall view of the person's year. We can also do very simple spreads, such as the 3-card spread, which looks like this, and it would basically be past, present, and future. Or if you're asking a simple yes or no question, it would be whether it's yes or no, why, and what's going to happen with the overall question. So as you can see here, I have some crystals, and this here is kyanite. And I strongly encourage anybody that's looking to learn how to read tarot, or to grow their psychic skills, or do any type of divination, to always have kyanite at the table, or to wear it, such as this bracelet here I'm wearing. This is kyanite, and these here are other third eye stones. So this is the mortarite and iolite. This is lapis lazuli, which is also a third eye stone. And the reason why I'm wearing third eye stones is because these help stimulate the third eye chakra, which is located here between your eyebrows. And this chakra is directly linked to intuition and also to understanding the deeper mysteries of life. To connect myself with my crown chakra, which is the direct link to divinity, I use amethyst. And to keep myself grounded and to keep myself from getting too overstimulated or affected by the other person's energy, I use grounding stones such as smoky quartz or black kyanite. If you feel that you need to amplify your energy or the energy of the room, you can use something like this, which is clear quartz, and this is an amplifier. So how do you know if tarot is legit, if it's for real, if the person you're talking to has the best interest at heart? So think of it this way: anybody with a credit card, anybody with money can go out and buy a set of tarot cards. Anybody who has basic understanding can go and watch a YouTube video, read a book, and basically memorize all 78 cards. The thing is that to be successful at tarot reading, you have to really tap into the other person's subconscious. You have to be able to be an empath, to feel what that person is feeling, to understand where they're coming from. And you have to be highly intuitive. Everything that I do is based on intuition. So for example, let's say that I'm reading somebody's tarot and I'm looking at these cards. I'm not only remembering the textbook definition of the cards, but I'm also looking at subtle hints. I'm looking at all of the different images, at all of the different colors. I'm also looking at the numbers. I'm looking for if it's a fire card, if it's based on a fire sign, on a water sign. And all of this information brings together a big picture. Also, I'm connected to the person's energy, so I get to feel what they're feeling. I can even tap into what's happening into their life. Sometimes I'll get a visual of what the person is going through. I might have a visual of what the person they're asking about looks like, what their home looks like, what their whole life is like. And so to be able to do that successfully, you have to be, number one, very integrated. You have to always speak the truth. Never just tell them what they want to hear. You're here to be a channel for divine communication. And so if you feel that you're going for a reading and the person at the table is basically just telling you what you want to hear and is selling you potions and it's selling you charms and is telling you that you're cursed and this and this and that and that, remember that professional tarot readers, that's their business and they're there to make money. So that's one thing to consider. Consider the person that's reading your cards, is there only strictly for business? Are they highly integrated to being a divine channel of communication? And do you feel comfortable around them? So those are the warning signs. If you feel like something is not right or it's off or this person is just trying to guess and trying to read you and your body language, then you might as well just leave and stop wasting your money. So how can you find the legit tarot card reader? That one is really tricky. Legit readers are usually not out there advertising themselves. You will feel naturally attracted to them. You will feel like that's a person you can trust, that's a person who can help you. And usually as a tarot reader, you yourself will feel that that person could use your help. So if you're somebody who's very, very empathic and is always like, you're always meeting strangers and they're always telling you their problems, then this is probably because you give off that energy. You have that natural healing ability, which is really important when it comes to tarot reader. As a tarot reader, you're not only just reading somebody's fortune, you're also helping them heal. And so it's a big deal. It's a huge responsibility that you have to take with integrity and authenticity. So the next common question I often get asked is, are the cards evil? Are there consequences to doing divination, such as reading the tarot or perhaps using a pendulum? And the answer is no. As far as tarot goes, tarot is just a way to express and communicate the messages coming from the other person's subconscious, as well as the divine messages that are given by that person's spirit guides or perhaps that person's higher self. So these are just tools. This is not like a Ouija board, which can be potentially dangerous because you're summoning and you're inviting spirits and other entities into your space. However, with tarot, if it makes you feel more comfortable, you can begin by saying a prayer and respectfully asking the divine or your higher self or the other person's higher self to allow you to communicate and to be able to relay a message. If you feel very nervous about perhaps bringing unwanted energy into your home or into your space where you're giving out a tarot reading, you can also prepare the space by clearing it with sage. You can also sage yourself before and after to remove any unwanted energy, and wear protective jewelry such as the one I'm wearing. So what I'm wearing here is obsidian, and this is my Atma Linga, which I have videos in this channel about. And usually whenever I give a reading, I like to wear black because it's kind of like a protective color for me personally. And I wear obsidian jewelry or maybe onyx or any other type of grounding and protective stone in conjunction with my third eye stones to help me stay grounded, focused, and protected from any unwanted or nervous energy, which does happen after you give a really good reading, especially if it was very intense. You will feel very jittery, you might feel hot, you might feel dizzy, you might feel a little bit overstimulated. And so this can be easily corrected by just cleaning your space, perhaps saging, burning some incense, or giving yourself a ritual bath. So another question I usually get asked is, how can I get started with reading tarot? And honestly, the best way to do it is by purchasing a set of cards. And before you even try to read what the book tells you, or you try to like watch any YouTube videos, take some time to really play with the cards, infuse them with your own energy. Our hands hold all of our energy. There's many different energy vortices here, many different chakras, many different nadis. And so when we're touching them, when we're playing with them, when we're shuffling them, we're infusing them with our own energy, and they become part of us. So once you establish oneness with your cards, take some time to really look at them, not just to memorize what the scene is telling you, but to try and see what's happening. Think about how the colors make you feel. What does his expression make you feel? What do you think he's doing? And usually, based on our own intuition, we're able to understand the card and know the meaning before we even read the textbook definition. So that would be one way to go about it. Another way to get really familiar with your cards is to actually sleep with them. So you can place your deck under your pillow so that you have them there, like you're sharing your energy. Especially when we're asleep, our energy is at a whole other level. And so if we have them next to us, we're infusing them with that passive energy. Lastly, what you can do is to practice some intuition and psychic games with yourself. Perhaps you can, while you're watching TV, you can try to intuitively guess what commercial is going to come up next. You can intuitively try to tap into another person and see what their mood is like, what they're going through. You can even try to intuitively know what the person had for breakfast or lunch. And by doing these little tricks and like games, you can actually start to develop your intuition. Our intuition is like any muscle in our body. So if you work out every day, you're trying to build your biceps, you're trying to build your abs, you can also build your intuition. By building your psychic muscles, you will feel a lot more confident and prepared next time that you're going to give a face-to-face reading. When you do your first reading, always remember to be highly integrated and take full responsibility for what you're saying. What you tell someone during a reading can have a potential impact on their lives. They are trusting you to provide them with healing, with information, with guidance. And so if at any point during the reading you feel like you don't understand what's happening, or you don't really know what the cards are saying, or you're just not feeling it and you're not into it, just be honest and let that person know. Don't just make up stuff or assume, because all of this is just going to come back in a really negative way for you. What you're telling somebody can be very either beneficial or very destructive. And the same goes the other way around. If you're getting a reading from someone and you feel that the information they're telling you is not very beneficial for you, stop and then just thank the person for the reading, for their time, and move along. The last thing you want to do is take advice from somebody who has a freaking mess in their lives. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, make sure to leave me a comment in the section below. And also, if you're interested in checking out any of the jewelry I'm wearing or any of the crystals that I showed you, such as these kyanite pieces, they are available for sale at my shop on Etsy called Eternal Blissed. That's all I have for you today. Thank you, and until next one, see ya.